Welcome to Seller Sessions. I am your host today, Sharon Evan, and I am writing solo once again today. Sometimes I like to come on here on my own and just drop out, just vomit out information that's in my brain and different experiences that, I go through as a seller and also someone who works with a lot of sellers. And I'm so passionate about today's subject. Today's subject is something that I find that a lot of people miss, basically. So I was thinking, and I even spoke to Danny, how do I name today's podcast? I don't know how to name it because there's so many different things. So today we're going to talk about product images, but we're going to talk about it from a different angle. So I'll give an intro to why I wanted to speak about this, and then I'm going to do some screen sharing and show you guys some stuff. When I started selling on Amazon in 2016, you could get away with not necessarily having the best listing. You could have an okay listing, but things have changed a lot. And in general, you should always make sure that you have a top-notch listing, and in general that your images, right, are on point from day one. And what I find is that a lot of sellers will go do the extra mile and bring out a really well differentiated product that has really, these specific features or differentiations or whatever it may be, but then they don't show it in their images. And then they say to me, but it's in the copy of my listing. And I'm like, but no one cares. No one really reads the copy. And even those that do, you're going to be able to help them to envision your product in their life, solving their problems, whatever it may be, if you were just showing them whatever it is in your images. Now, I go through this a lot with people, and a lot of the time is, I just gave the photographer information and this is what they made me. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't work that way. So I specifically make very, very in-depth briefs for my photographers or graphics designers that I work with, the same way that I make very in-depth specification sheets for the suppliers that I work with. I do the same thing for every service provider that I work with, because no one's going to be able to understand my products better than me. Right? When you bring out a product to market, you should know your product inside out. You should know exactly who uses your product. You should know exactly what type of buyer they are. Are they older, younger, female, men, kids, parents, whatever. You should know where they use their products. You should know where they use your product. You should know how your product solves a problem for them. You should know everything there is to know about your product inside out. No other service provider or whatever is going to be able to know that as well as you. So you need to really work on how the type of information you give to your photographer, graphics designer, whatever it may be, when you are seeking out a service provider for this. And sort of putting that responsibility on them is I think is wrong. So I think that a lot of people lack gathering together the right information in their brain or on a piece of paper or whatever for their own products, or lack really understanding their product in depth, or really understanding where the product can be used or what is it even used for. Or maybe you missed something in your product research, and you think your product is used for something, but then you forgot to look at the keywords, and actually the keywords are showing you, wait a minute, they're not even using it indoor, they're using it outdoor, and you based your entire images on indoor images instead of showing the product being used outdoor, or both. So there's a few different things I want to talk about, and I want to show you guys a real example of someone who came to me selling a charcoal diaper, reusable diaper. And there were many different features that the product had, but they weren't being shown in the listing at all, right? And there were many different age groups that the diaper could be targeted at, but it wasn't even being shown in the images. Now, the images weren't terrible. They just weren't showing the main features of the products. And this happens so often. And again, it happens to so many different types of sellers. This isn't something that just happens to beginners. It's also something that it could be a 7-figure seller, someone who's been doing this for a really long time, and they started selling a long time ago, and in the meantime, they haven't changed their images since 2016. But wait a minute, your competition has grown and they have gotten better and better because there's more people making content and they understand things more. And their images are a million times better than yours, for example. But because you've got the reviews and you've got that history, you're still selling well. But if you would have just caught up and actually had the right type of images in the first place, you may be converting even better. So today we're going to talk about A, what kind of product images your products should have. B, how to also make a brief for the types of service providers that you work with when it comes to images. So I'm going to be doing a share screen. For those of you who are listening to this on the podcast, I will do my very best to describe what it is that I'm showing, what I'm looking at. But because this is extremely visual, I would encourage you to find this on the Seller Sessions YouTube channel or on my YouTube channel, the Sharon Evan YouTube channel, and look at what I'm actually doing. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys now. All right, so we are inside of my computer now. For those of you who are listening to this on the podcast, again, I encourage you to find this either on the Seller Sessions YouTube channel or on mine. Now, I just wrote some notes here before I start. Currently, I have on the screen the product I was explaining. It is a diaper bag, and it comes with it is not a diaper bag. It is a reusable diaper, and it comes with like a wet bag, and it has like a few little charcoal pads inside of it. Okay, before I explain what we're seeing here, I want to just read out some notes that I wrote. So I wrote here, your product images are the most important part of your product page. It is what gets the clicks from the search results. Remember that whatever it is that your differentiation is, the different things that are really important to your buyer, if you can show them, okay, if you can show them in your main images, it's really, really important, because all we have on search results really is our main image, okay? So what helps to showcase your product and what helps the shopper envision your product in their life and how it will solve their problems. So I really believe in what I'm saying here, and I really believe that like 80% of the buying decision comes from the images, okay? First of all, we need an amazing main image to get the click. And once they're on our listing, we need to be able to educate them on our product and also show them why they should buy our product and not others. And there's different things that I'm going to explain here. And I'm also going to show you, how I created a brief for this product and what the end results look like. And then I wrote here, in order to know what type of images you need for your product, you must first understand the following about your product. A, the top benefits of your products. What are the top features of your product? Where will it be used? How will it be used? And who uses it? And this may sound like really, really basic to you guys, but one of the main features of the product I have on screen, okay, so it shows here 4 diapers and 4 pads and a wet bag. The thing is that one of the main differentiations for this product is that the inside of the diaper is charcoal, but you can't see it in the main image. You can't tell it at all. Not only that, now it's not the only most important thing, but there are other important things that this product has that you could not see in the listing at all. So when you're creating before you can even give any information to a service provider on how to create your images, you need to first of all be able to provide this information, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute, yourself. So I've got now on screen all the different benefits, top features, where the product can be used, how it can be used, and who uses it on screen. So this is a diaper it comes with 4 different charcoal diapers. It comes with 4 different charcoal bamboo liners and 1 wet bag. And each one of them here, I've gone ahead and written, well, what are the benefits, the features, how can it be used, where can it be used, what can you do with it, etc. for each of the products. So for example, it's waterproof, it's leak proof, it's fade resistant, it's sewn in leak guard. There's all these different things that, like, I'm not going to go through everything, but it's eco-friendly, all these different things that the buyer avatar actually cares about, and B, that are important for me to put across because my product's more expensive than everyone else's. They need to know why these things are important, or whatever it may be. So once you've gone through and you've written down all the different benefits and features, etc. of your products, only then can you move to the next stage, which is what image 1 needs to look like, what image 2 needs to look like, what image 3, etc. Remember that altogether, technically you have 9 images, but only 7 are seen on mobile. And if you have a video, then only the first 6 will be seen. On desktop, if they were to double click on your images, then they'll see the rest of the 9 images. So if you have a video, really you have 6 images to really showcase and put across to the buyer what your product, all these different benefits, etc. of your products. And then I'm not going to talk about A+ content today because I would probably prefer to bring on one of the service providers that I work with to talk about that specifically. But, images are definitely something that I feel extremely passionate about because I do a lot of PPC with with sellers, and the amount of times where the main problem is not necessarily the PPC, but it's actually in the first case, you've got all these benefits, you've got all these features in your product, but you're not showing them in your listing. And who cares if you've got it written in your description? I don't want the buyer to have to scroll down and read your description. I want them to be able to see your images and understand straight away what it is that they're getting, how your product is going to solve their problem, or make their life better, or whatever it may be. So if you're selling let's take something like random, okay, a water doodle thing. It's like where a kid can like draw on this water. I've just forgotten what it's called. Aqua doodle pad, something like that. Okay. And if part of what it solves is the fact that it's not messy, the house isn't going to be messy anymore, full of paint, because it's like a water doodle pad. It means that the parents can sit on the couch, relax while their kids are on the ground, and they don't need to think too much about messiness or whatever. Or it solves the problem of kids fighting in the car because each one is in the middle of drawing with a water doodle pad, and I don't need to worry that there's going to be any mess or whatever it is. Show that in a collage. You can create a collage where you've got one image with 4 little images in there showing or saying how it's solving that problem. Relax while your kids are whatever, something educational, an educational word in there. Okay, no more fighting in the car, blah, blah, blah. Show that parent how you're solving that problem for them, right? Anyway, back to the diaper bags. So this is what a brief that I made for the graphics designer that redid this listing looked like. So I wrote in the main image, should show everything that comes with the product. If also could show that the inside of the diapers is black, that would be great, as seen in the image below. Images supplied. Okay, so I realized that one of the main benefits in this product is the fact that the inside of the diaper is also charcoal where everyone else's wasn't, and therefore it is important to try and show that in the main image. Let's just quickly see if they were able to do that. Yes, so you can see here, this is the end product. We'll go back to this in a second. You can see that the inside is also charcoal, way better than what you could see before. Back to here, images 2, what's included. So I always try and have a what's included if more than one thing is included, a what's included image, which you can also turn into an infographic. And I wrote here, what's included image maybe present as a collage showing 4 different types of diapers, plus the liner, plus the bonus wet bag. And then I want it to have a few different icons there. So wet bag, you can go anywhere of convenience, charcoal bag insert, boost leak resistance, reusable charcoal bamboo diapers, super soft and super absorbent. And then I showed what the image looks like now, okay, where it just looks like this. And then I showed an example of what I want it to look like, knowing that it's going to be 1,000,000 times better than what we're seeing here on screen. I'll try and zoom in for you guys a little bit more so that you can see. Okay, this is what it used to look like. This was my example. And then this, where is it? Here is what it turned out like. So it says here, there's no way for me to zoom in on this, unfortunately, but it says what's included. 1 wet dry bag, blah, 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 and it explains what it does there. 4 reusable charcoal bamboo diapers and explain what's going on there. And 4 charcoal bamboo inserts, and it explains what's important there. Okay, so this is what we have now as an infographic compared to this of showing what's included. All right, so that's that. Image 3, we may need 2 images for this, I wrote, I didn't know. Infographics showing the inside of the nappy to emphasize the charcoal bamboo and insert pocket. So again, one of the main features of this product was that the inside of the diaper was charcoal. And she wasn't showing this anywhere in her listing. The focus wasn't on the diaper bag. The focus wasn't on the diaper here where the inside was charcoal. The focus was on other things. So I explained here the different features. I went and looked at all the different types of competitors and what their images look like off of Amazon and how they're showing it. And then I put an example of their products. And then I wrote here what the current images look like. Let's see if I can bring that up a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, this is what the current images look like. All right, these were the current infographics that they had. It doesn't show here the inside. It doesn't show here the most important thing to the buyer avatar, which is the inside. So if we were to compare that to today, this is the infographic today. It's showing the inside and what the diaper looks like. And by the way, all of this is photoshopped. What you're seeing here, these are also, everything here actually is photoshopped. So this was photoshopped. We took a normal diaper, opened it up, and then showed the inside of it. I think maybe in the end the client took the photo and then my graphics designer finished it. I can't remember now, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure this part is also photoshopped. So beforehand, they had 2 images like this, 2 different images trying to show the exact same thing, right? And none of them were showing the most important feature, right? None of them. Right? And then this is the end result. Next, image 4, different age groups. So this is how they were showing before the different age groups. Okay, they were showing that you can have it for this age group, this age group, this age group, and this age group. And then I wanted to include a lifestyle sort of image in there where you could see, well, the product can actually be used from baby all the way up to toddler, and then show that if I could find. So I took an image from Shutterstock and I just gave an example, and I said if you could incorporate this somehow like this, it would be great. And you can see here how we did that. So we're still using those same images that she had before, but then we've also photoshopped the diaper on the baby, right? And you can see that it's actually on from a baby all the way up to the toddler, and it's also the same baby. You've got to have an amazing graphics designer to be able to get away with this. I'm very fortunate to have an amazing graphics designer that is able to do this. But look at this after compared to this before, right? All right, next. Image 5. Easy fit charcoal bamboo inserts secured with leak resistant gathers. So basically with this product, you put the charcoal pads inside of the charcoal diaper. And there was nowhere in the listing showing how you do this. It didn't exist. It didn't show that like what you're supposed to do with it. So I put here some pointers. No, I didn't. That was the next image. Sorry. Let's go have a look. I think that image is actually in the A+ content, so you guys can't see it here. So we'll move on to the next image. The next image, one of the main benefits of this product is that it also comes with a wet bag, which is also sold separately. They don't sell it separately, but other people sell it separately, and then they had bundled it together. So beforehand, there was no emphasis on the wet bag at all apart from the main image. And I was like, but this is part of your differentiation. You have a wet bag, like you should also commit an image to it. So image 6, put in a wet bag image. And you can see here, wet dry bag included. So we have given enough room for all the main things in the bundle. The charcoal bamboo liners, which must be in the A+ content because it's not here. for what the inside of the diaper looks like, and for the fact that it comes with the wet bag and the different features of the wet bag, where before they didn't have that as a feature at all. And then they only had, previous to this, only had one lifestyle image of a baby, and it was pretty badly photoshopped, basically. And I really wanted to put as many babies as possible in there. So I went on Shutterstock and found images of, babies basically, and got my graphics designer to Photoshop it. So you can see I made this on Canva just as an example that this is what I wanted it to look like. And you can see that this is the end result. It's exactly the images that I chose. Maybe one of them, I just seen that she had replaced one of them. So, but here. So this is a product that usually parents buy. I want to make sure that I'm using cute babies with faces where you can see their faces, and really helping them to envision the product on their baby, right? So adding an image like this where there's a cute little teddy bear that's hugging the kid and they're both wearing the diaper, like that's just like will melt the person's heart and definitely help, in my opinion, with conversion. Right? And that may be like such a stupid little thing for someone listening to this, but it really, really does help, because it helps to, really implant the product in their mind on their baby when they're seeing it physically on real babies. And I'm showing here different age groups, right? I'm showing here when they're younger, when they're really young, to when they're standing. So I'm also showing them, from newborn to toddler. And you can see what an amazing, they wrote here, from baby to toddler, what an amazing outcome there was. So that was it. Did I do anything else here? No. So what I wanted to basically, help you guys to understand from here. All right, you guys can see me with a nice little lioness on the screen. So what I wanted you guys to take from this is that you have to make sure that your images are made to convert for your buyer avatar. I have a saying where I say I want to show the right type of product to the right type of buyer at the right time. The right time is when they're searching for it. I need them to see that my product is the right product for them. 90% of that is my images. Now, I'm not saying that your images should be your only differentiation. Hell no. You should be bringing in differentiated products that you've done a lot of product research on and a lot of market research on. But it doesn't stop there. You have to also make sure that your images are like the best freaking images there are. And how can you do that if you don't understand your product in the first place? So go through all of the different benefits that your products have. Go through where your buyers are using the products. What are they doing with the products? What does your buyer avatar sort of look like, right? What kind of model do you need if you're going to have models in there? What should their nails look like if they're holding the product? What should their makeup look like if they're wearing makeup? Is it a really healthy looking product? Is it more of a luxurious product? If it's an exercise product, do they need to have a six-pack? Like whatever. I know it sounds a little bit like, I don't know, it sounds maybe a little bit like I'm talking about beautiful people or fit people, whatever. Know what your buyer avatars look like or want to look like, and make sure that those are the type of models that you choose. Those are the type of settings that you choose. There's another example, and this is from, this is specifically like Milana, the graphic designer that I work with. There's another example that she shows here in her portfolio, which is something that I love to show. This is on the screen. We have a lighthouse decor product. This specific product was originally, like the entire listing was originally orange. And when I asked the person, why is your listing orange? He said to me, because my logo is orange. And I was like, but your buyer avatar's house and their decor, this is a decor product. It's a nautical decor product. Their home doesn't look orange. Their home looks, with these types of pastel-y, bluish types of colors. So you really need to redo the way that your images look, because you're not implanting the product in the buyer's mind. Now, something that I always talk about is having one, if you're going to have a font, have a maximum of 1 or 2 fonts. Don't have a million different types of fonts. In your infographics, have minimum amount of text and have as much either icons or real images, always try and look at it as like the 5-second rule. If I look at an image for 5 seconds, I have to understand what it is that you're showing me. All right, so if you were to look here, and this is something I have in every single images of my own products, and also I encourage my clients to have, there should be a collage, either a collage showing 4 different places that your product can be used, or 4 different ways that your product can be used, or 4 different problems that your product is solving. And that way you can have many, many, many different images in one. Well, I mean, here it's 4. Instead of you needing 4 different images, you put it into one. And what you can see, and by the way, this specifically is also Photoshop, because the person had already had images done beforehand, and then it needed to be Photoshopped on different backgrounds, because the backgrounds didn't make sense beforehand, right? And if you were to look at this, so you can see here, right, this product is mostly used for like summer parties, etc. And you can see, so we've written here in the collar, summer party, beach, spa, jacuzzi, picnic, camping, etc. Right? And it's very visual, minimum amount of text, more icons, infographics, lifestyle images, and you'll see that there's a theme here with that. There's always different collages, etc. So this is also a great example of what we have on the screen right now as well. So here, instead of showing 4 different places where the product can be used, it's 4 different either features or how you can use the product, right? So these types of things I think are extremely, extremely, extremely important. And I don't think that you can make or send your product to be done by a photographer or whatever without you first understanding these things about your product. So I encourage you to do what I did in that brief, which is start with writing down all the different benefits of the product. Where do the people that buy the product, where do they use it? How do they use it? All those things I went through, I wrote it down. So it's top benefits, top features, where they're used, how they use, and who use it. And that will help you to then create the brief for the person that's making your images, or even if it's you as well. I also wrote a note here to make sure that I cover in your infographics, you always want to make sure that you have your standout features. You have to have them to the point. That's why I say 5-second rule. Icons are always easier to process rather than jam-packing heaps and heaps of text. The amount of people I've seen where they're listing their infographics is just full of so much text. And I'm like, no one's going to read this. You need to find another way to make this more visual and for people to understand it. And then easy to read text and easy to read fonts are something that is really important as well. I hope that this was valuable. I apologize for you guys who are listening to this on the podcast, because you really do need to see the screen in order to understand what I'm talking about. But I do encourage you to find the video for this. And I hope that this has helped some of you, whether you're seasoned sellers or newer sellers. I encourage you to go back and have a look at your images. And something else I encourage you to do is to have a look at the keywords, because if you are selling a product and you're seeing that you're converting on a lot of, let's just say, keywords around the swimming pool, okay, and you're not even showing the product being used in the swimming pool, but if you were, you could get even more sales through that, then maybe you will then rethink that and add an image like that. So look at the types of keywords that people are searching for as well, and see if your product fits in there, and see how you can also incorporate that into the way that you make your images. And obviously, understand your product, because without understanding your product and being able to explain that to your whoever it is that's making your images, it won't work. So I encourage you guys to go back and have a look at your image. It's not that it won't work, it's just that it could work better, and you could convert more if you were to do this. I encourage you all to go back and look at your listings. Look whether your product images really are good enough, and are they really showing the main benefits of your products, or are there things or little features or whatever that you have that you're not showing in your images that, had you been showing it, you probably may have converted better. Go back and have a look at that as well. Images are a huge part of conversion, right? I hope this was helpful to you guys. I hope this also helps you to create a brief for your graphics designers or product photographers or whatever as well. And if you guys have any questions, you can also reach out to me. And that's it. We're going to wrap it up here. So I will see you all next week. Isabella will be back on Monday, and Danny will be back on Tuesday, and I will see you all next Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe to the Seller Sessions YouTube channel and to the Sharon Evan YouTube channel as well. And if anyone wants to reach out to me, you can find me at sharonevan.com or Sharon Evan on my Facebook account. All right, guys. Thank you. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will